You guys, we made it to June. We only have 2 more days left of school. You guys got this. Let's finish Monday and Tuesday, and then you guys are officially done. You are on to the next grade. You've reached summer, so keep it going, everybody. I know. I'm crazy how we're almost towards the end, but let's go ahead and let's look at our parent letter to make sure we're on pace. Today we're doing iReady Reading Section 2, Lesson 7, okay? So that's going to be Section 2, Lesson 7, which is Monday. And I'm just going to give you the heads up. Tomorrow we're going to skip Lesson 8, and then we're going to finish with Lesson 9. It's a practice assessment, like a practice kind of test, how we do in class, how it's going to end. So let's go ahead and let's flip in our paper to pages 45 through 49. So it's going to look like this. It's a new story, and it's called RIP! Thanks, George, by Hannah Ford. And look, guys, we actually read something about this when we did some Project Lead the Way things. We did some STEM activities. This is a magazine article, and we're going to be learning the word called burrs, fibers, and fabric. And what do you guys see here? I see Velcro and burrs. I showed you one of these pictures on underneath a microscope, how this came to be. So this article is paragraphs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you have 7 paragraphs that you're going to read. Now, I'm going to start reading this with you so you can follow along. And again, like the last few articles, it's really, really important that you guys pay attention to the pictures. There are so many visuals here, and they're going to really help you figure out what's going on in the story. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started on our first and almost last article. Here we go. RIP! That familiar sound is what we might hear when we undo our shoes or open our backpacks. It's Velcro. One side it's fuzzy, the other side it's prickly. It sort of feels like a prickly plant? Well, that's because a prickly plant was the inspiration for Velcro. George Mestral, the man who invented Velcro, lived in a country in Europe called Switzerland. One day he was hiking in the Jura Mountains near his home. When he came home, he found lots of sticky burrs on his pants and socks. What makes these stick? He wondered. He decided to look at them under a microscope. Up close, George saw that each little spike on the burr ended in a hook. When he looked at the fibers on his pants and socks, he noticed that they were little loops. The hooks from the burrs got caught on the little loops. That got George thinking. These things have real sticking power. Imagine if you could stick things together in a useful way. After many years of experimenting, George was able to recreate the sticking power of the little burrs. He made 2 pieces of fabric, one piece that was covered in prickly hooks, the other covered in soft, fuzzy loops. Put them together, and they hung on tight. With a hearty tug, rip, they came apart. That's like the sound we hear. George was eager to share his invention. A lot of people told him it was silly. George knew better. He knew that his invention could take the place of many fasteners. Zippers, buttons, pins, and shoelaces would all become a thing of the past, he claimed. In 1951, he patented his invention. He named it Velcro, a combination of words velver, which means velvet, and croche, which means hook. He began manufacturing it, sure that it would have thousands of uses. He was right. Velcro's first big fan was NASA. Astronauts had lots of bulky equipment to put on and take off. Velcro proved to be strong, easy to pull off fastener for spacesuits. It could hold tools in place so they wouldn't float away. Skiers also wore bulky suits. They liked how Velcro fasteners held tight and open easily. Sneaker makers saw Velcro straps as kid-friendly. Even toddlers could fasten and unfasten their straps. That's why you might see it on some shoes. From something most people find annoying, George Mestral gave us a wonderful convenience. The next time you hear that rip, thank him. So look at these pictures. Did you see this one of the spaceman right here? Look, it's clipping on the fabric to make sure it's in. There's Velcro up close. That's what burrs look like when they're attached to clothes. And then, of course, this is the microscope version. If If you zoom in, this is what it would look like. So also some of the plants that it might come from. And then of course, look at these shoes. Velcro shoes, kid friendly, right? It's much easier than shoestrings. Okay, so we have till pages 49. So we have 2 questions right here that we're going to look at. So for the first question has 2 parts. First answer A, then answer B. How did George Mestrel come up with the idea for Velcro? How did he come up with the idea? He looked at the unusual fasteners used on hiking clothes. He saw special fabrics that were fuzzy on one side and prickly on the other. He had been asked to invent a new kind of fastener, or he noticed that burrs were sticking to his pants and socks after a hike. It has to be D. Has to be. That's how he came up with the idea. He wasn't asked to. He came up with that idea. Which sentence best supports your answer here? So if he noticed the burrs were sticking to his pants and socks on his hike, which one helps fit that? What was going on? Which one can you add to this to really help connect to that part right there? Okay, do this one by yourself. According to both the photographs and the text of the passage, how is a burr similar to Velcro? So both the photos and the text. We have both grow on a plant. Well, we know Velcro doesn't. That's trash. Both are brownish in color. They could be. Velcro could be all different colors. Both have tiny hooks at the ends. Both are shaped like zippers. Well, they're not shaped like tiny zippers, so the only choice has to be C. They both have tiny hooks on the ends. And that's how we know, because it said us in the text and in the picture. You can really see some of these little hooks, how they hook to the different clothes and fabric. All right, we have 3. Reread paragraph 4 and look at the photographs. Which 2 of the following details explains how Velcro is made? So let's go back to paragraph 4. After many years of experimenting, George was able to recreate the sticking fabric power of the little burrs. He made 2 pieces of fabric, one piece that was covered in prickly hooks, the other covered in soft fuzzy loops. Put them together and they hung on tight. With a hearty tug, rip, they came apart. So after reading paragraph 4, which 2 of the following explains how Velcro is made? So I want you to look and think about how is it made. Go back to the paragraph if you need help. What is one reason that astronauts first started to use Velcro? What did it help astronauts do with Velcro? If you're not sure, go back and figure that out. So you're going to do these 2 on your own. Why was Velcro popular with skiers? If you don't remember, I'll go back to the text to skiers. What did it help skiers do? Did you see that? Well, that's astronauts. Oh, I did not mean to do that. But for skiers, look what it says. Skiers also wore bulky suits. They liked how Velcro fasteners held tight and opened easily. So skiers, if you go skiing, you have a big, big snowsuit. So why was Velcro popular with skiers? Velcro was popular with skiers because they had bulky clothes and needed an easier way to keep them tight. If you're a skier, you want to make sure your pants are not going to let snow in them, right? Or a big thing on my ski pants, or like my snow pants, I guess is what I call them. I have them around my ankles. I hate it when snow gets in my ankles or my socks. It's so cold. So that's why skiers, it helps keep them tight. All right, the last page that we have is page 49, okay? And there are 3 questions on this page right here. Read these sentences from paragraph 5. He knew that his invention could take the place of many fasteners. Zippers, buttons, pins, and shoelaces would all become a thing of the past, he claimed. What are 2 ways to figure out the meaning of fasteners? How can I figure out what a fastener is? I want to show you one. Look at all the examples it gave. Zippers, buttons, pins, shoelaces, those are fasteners. Fasteners. So how can I figure out what a fastener is? We'll use the meaning of invention, which means something similar. Nope, that is not what that means. Use the examples in each sentence, which are all objects joined together. Yep, there's one. Think about the meaning of fasten, which means to hold in place. Yep, sure does. And think about the meaning of fast, which means quick. That has nothing to do with fastener. And then fastener break into two smaller words. That can't really help me. The answers have to be B and C. Have to be B and C. Why would Velcro be most useful on clothing meant for children? Do that one by yourself. And the last one is, I want you to look at the photograph of the astronaut. What does it help you understand? So you guys, I broke down each little part for you. This is a fun one. Use the questions, use the article, use the pictures to help you answer these questions. You guys are going to do amazing on this, okay? Let's go ahead and let's go to our writing so that we don't run out of time. For the writing today, and I'll go back to my parent letter, we're going to do entry 9 part 1, which means that it is a journal today. So here's entry 9 part 1. So here we go. The sun is shining and you get to do whatever you want to do as long as you do it outside. I love this. Write to tell how you will spend this nice day. Here's how you can start. I will spend the day. I actually want to know, how would you spend your day? The sun is shining, it's gorgeous, the weather's perfect. What are you going to do outside? Tell me, describe it, give me details, and also send me a picture so I can read it. And I want to hear about your perfect day outside, okay? Have a wonderful day, my friends. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.